Next up on the list, as stated in my stream title or whatever, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while, and I think it's slowing my computer down. Because on Steam, I have a crap ton of demos. So today, it is Demo Doomsday. Shoot, how do I do this again? It's been so long. I forgot how to spin the wheel. You know what? Alright, we're going to do this one. It's been decided. Because it's weird looking. Sorry. Also, problem with this whole idea, this whole setup, is now I have to play with OBS to see if it'll actually capture the game I'm opening. Alright, so pretend we spun the wheel. Whoa, so cool looking. Woo. And then it landed on a game called Broadway 1849. Oddly, I think it's... Wait, what? I think it's text-based. And I remember seeing a lot of these on Steam and being like, who the hell plays these text-based games? I mean, they must be cheap, but still, like, it seems, I don't know. Just read a book. But apparently this one caught my eye, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe, most likely what happened was I got it and had no idea it was text-based. So, doesn't quite fit the concept of Demo Doomsday, where it's just like, what are we going to walk into next? It's insanity. There's nothing very insane about reading. So first 3 chapters it says are free. Oh my god, I have to read though, it just occurred to me. Also, I can't get it to pick up on OBS, like I said, would be an issue. Maybe that? Ah, here it is. Ta-da! Just read a book. Exactly. Today, that's what we're going to be doing for Demo Doomsday. Books are boring. Yeah, that's true. They certainly can be. I'm going to fiddle with the framing like it's going to fucking matter. Yeah, wait, hold on. You make a good point. It is gonna hurt my eyes. I was gonna see if I can zoom in, but it's not gonna let me. Achievements? Hold the phone. Oh, it just straight up tells you what each achievement is. Alright, well, it's Diva Wrangler. Manage your star's outrageous demands. Alright, we're gonna do it. Achievements. Stats. Is this gonna... Showmanship authority... Can I roll these skills instead? You know? 4d6, take away the lowest number. Alright, fine. Oh, oh, okay, this isn't... Alright. Chapter 1. God. Please let these be short chapters. Opening night. Peek out from behind a curtain. Opening night of your theater. You've been waiting for this moment your whole career. All those years spent working your way up the ranks have paid off. And now you have the reins of the newest theater in New York. With so much invested in your first production, this night can make or break your career. You hold your breath. Oh, by Robert Davis, by the way. The performance is reaching its final scene. You eagerly scan the audience faces in the dim candlelight. High society audience members sitting demurely in the gilt boxes surrounding the house. They're just making up words now. Women beating their... beating their fans with excitement. I'm not mature enough for this. Rowdies high in the galleries cheer as the scene shifts to the battlefield, and the couple patrons seated in the pit in front of the stage are rapt. This play is William Shakespeare's Richard III, a tragedy about a disfigured prince who lies and murders his way to the throne, only to be overthrown by a virtuous usurper in a spectacular battle. Spoilers. It has enough poetry to appeal to the intellectual crowd, but also enough action to appeal to the common man and woman. You're looking forward to seeing how the audience enjoys the final duel. Richard is being played by one of the most popular actors of the day, Junius Brutus Booth, who has made this scene his own. Everything's going as planned. The actors are working up to the big scene in which Booth makes his grand entrance to deliver a poetic speech, then fights and loses the final battle. Your nose is still buried in the curtain when the stagehand tugs on your sleeve. You're annoyed by being disturbed, but her worried look communicates a matter of gravity. What is wrong? It's Booth. You knew it. The actor whom you hired at enormous expense is a notorious drinker. Most likely, he's too drunk to go on stage, and there are only a few minutes until his entrance, so you'll have to act fast. Your theater cannot survive a failed opening night. I'm going in myself. Wait, I've trained as an actor. Oh, hey, look. That was just my first thought. I guess I'm going to have to go with this one. This requires a level head. I used to be a writer. I'll rewrite the scene. No. We're not rewriting Shakespeare. My business experience tells me another actor can cover for Booth. The show must go on. I will jump in. You're by no means a veteran, but you're regarded as a serviceable actor with potential. Like most, you began as an apprentice, worked as a stagehand, played numerous servants and soldiers until your first starring role. Since then, you have been a consistent member of acting companies, gaining experience in almost every type of role. This is so different. You spring into action, telling the stagehand to bring you Booth's costumes and props. You've watched rehearsals for the scene enough that you know exactly what to do, but you barely get into costume by the time you hear your cue of drums and trumpets and have to burst onto the stage. I'm getting hoarse already. The actors dressed as medieval soldiers are surprised to see you instead of Booth. They continue with the scene. The audience gasps a little, but this is the climax of the play. No one really cares about who plays the role. Yeah, now that I think about it, that was a dumb idea. There's no option to just say, put him on anyway, even though he's drunk. You launched into the dialogue, waving your sword in the air and shouting for attention. Oh, Christ. Wooden floor creaks as you stride to the edge of the stage, and the audience falls silent, hovering over the glaring footlights, which cast dramatic shadows across your face, making you look harried by your ordeals. You lament the violent work of war. Although your character is a villain, the audience finds sympathy for the way he overthrows the scrupulous nobles. If only he had not been corrupted himself, Richard would make a great hero. The enemy's armies approach, and you rally your troops in rousing tones. Come, gentlemen, now each man to his charge, and ere we do bestride our foaming steeds, remember whom you are to cope withal, a scum of Bretons, rascals, runaways, whom their country vomits forth to desperate adventures and destruction. Now, after some combat, your forces are routed, and you are weakening. The usurper, Henry Tudor, I know this story, enters with his army. Under the bright light of the chandelier in the auditorium, you can clearly see the audience before you, eagerly anticipating your big speech. How will you play to them? Play up the emotions of the scene to excite the crowd in the galleries. I emphasize a poetic speech to inspire and elevate the patrons in the boxes. Theater is a demonic art form. I play equally to all. Oh, democratic. Excuse me. It's Freudian slip. Oh, boy. I mean, I don't know how you emphasize the poetic speech without playing up emotions. Just do both. For the fight scene, you direct your gaze outward and emphasize your lines about the nature of humanity, our place in the universe, and our pangs of loss you feel. You sense the galleries are getting impatient for the duel, so you rush, making sure to pause at the really good lines. Once the speech is over, you fight a fierce duel with the usurper. You forgot some of the finer points of the choreography, but you come through with a flourish. Last is a it's a thing, and you must fall. Henry Tudor disarms you, and you initially try to flee. God dang it. Thinking only of your safety while you shout, "A horse! A horse, my kingdom for a horse." Oh, is that where that's from? But you're cornered, and you show your character's desire for battle, rising for the final bloody combat. Despite the fighting spirit, you are run through. Your stage manager combination of a trick, sword, and stage blood fountain produces its requisite hoots and ahs from the crowd, and thus, with a stroke of the blade, your kingdom crumbles and your dynasty is no more. How will you act your final words? Drop to the ground, gain sympathy by mourning my tragic fall from power, spit at my enemy with venom as I lash out with my sword. Words are insufficient. Critics will love if I show the anguish on my face. Yeah, I'm not a good actor, though. Hmm. Oops. How about both? No. I will spit at my enemy. You sink to one knee and raise your head up high, clutching your wound with one hand and pointing with the other. You curse your enemy with withering gasps. Then, with a groan, you fall. The orchestra strikes a dramatic chord as the curtain comes rushing down to thunderous applause. Hooray. Curtain rises to reveal the clapping and cheering audience from all sections of the house. One by one, the actors bow. Then it's your turn. It's your first bow as manager of your theater. What impressions do you want to leave your audience with? The audience wants warmth, a smile, and a wave, as if everyone is my friend. Treat the moment seriously, bow humbly, and with purpose. Dramatically step in front of the cast upstaging them. Soak up all the applause. I feel like there's a wrong answer here. Shakespeare. But at the same time, we put a blood fountain in. So, probably aren't very serious. You repeat the curtain call 3 times to cheers and applause. Just as you're soaking up the glory, a man in the gallery launches the end of his pork chop at you. Who the fuck brought a pork chop to a Shakespeare? Bring us back, Booth. These are here, the man shouts, igniting a roar in the galleries. Up there, where the alcohol flows and the working men and women congregate, it often gets rowdy. This has been the custom of theater in the city since the beginning, and you're not one to impose upon tradition. However, a well-dressed patron in a box leans out and yells back, "Quit your complaining, it was well done," which prompts applause from the boxes. And part of the pit, gonna have a riot. This doesn't appease the gangs in the gallery, who start shouting insults about the vile rich and the stinking cods in the boxes. They launch a rain of chop bones, peanut shells, and various missiles, many of which you can't and do not want to identify. Someone's a monkey. Tensions between the classes and audience groups is nothing new, but this altercation looks like it could get out of hand. Your cast looks at you to do something about it. Command them both to stop. Yeah, that'll work. Use my acting skills to make an emotional speech about that. This is a night of celebration. Fortunately, I have hired men placed in the galleries for just this occasion. Fuck yeah. Cut him off with a speech on how theater is for everyone. Nah, no, that's gonna work. Gotta throw the muscle in. You give a private signal to your men to remove the troublemakers in the gallery, which they do in a flash. The theater is eerily quiet as the rowdies are removed. What are you doing with these kafirs? One of them shouts out. You want your cutwater broken? I don't know what you mean, sir. But his protests were muffled. Either he saw that there was no use protesting, or one of your men silenced him. Regardless, all that matters is that the rambunctiousness of the gallery fizzles out, and as a result, the boxes return to an even keel. Your cast regroups for a bow, and the show closes to applause. Hooray. Promising start. Gather your cast backstage and congratulate them on a successful opening. You have a moment to say a few words to the gathering cast and crew about your first night's effort. Openly share my enthusiasm. Make an inspiring speech. Enough of the speeches. Use my acting skill to recite a relevant passage from Shakespeare. I'm Captain Picard from Star Trek Next Generation, apparently. Thank them all, but give 1 or 2 key actors a few notes for next time. Well, that means nothing if I don't know what the notes are. Sure. Enthusiasm. Your effort. Offer a short but emotional speech that doesn't hold back in thanking the whole cast and crew for their work and strength of character. From start to finish, there's nothing harder than mounting a play, and you make sure that they see that you're touched by their dedication. When you're finished, the cast and crew offer you a short round of applause, hooray, and dismiss them with congratulations. Everyone hurries to their dressing rooms, change their clothes, and get ready to attend the gala reception waiting in the theater's lobby. Now, after weeks of constant work, you can retreat to your office for a few moments of peace before the party. You see a plaque on your door with the name of shining letters. In a time when men and women are often theater managers, what gender are you? A man? I'm a man. Also on the door is your name. Wait. And the name of the theater, or your first name, okay. I don't like these names. Frank J.S. What if I say I don't like these names? Oh. Okay. Bud. What's your last name? Long Johnson. Wait. I know how to spell. And finally, under Bud Long Johnson. Yeah, definitely not mature enough for this. There's a name of your theater in big letters. What does it say? Park Theater. Broadway Theater. Winter Garden. Street front spectacle that the press loves to write about. The Olympic Theater. Long Johnson Theater. Yeah. Like a Greek temple on the outside, the Long Johnson Theater has an opulent lobby, though its stage could have more room for special effects. In the months leading up to the opening, newspaper articles love to talk about the decoration of the columns, the gilt of the lobby ceilings, and the curtains on the boxes. But they almost never had anything to say about the stage itself. Well, I mean, there's a fucking play going on it. That's, for starters. Having supervised the building renovation yourself, you're confident that everything is ship shape. The only exception is that the gas jets extinguish themselves every night around 2 in the morning. No one knows why, but you'll fix it in due time. Besides that annoyance, what's your theater's main drawback? Location's a bit too far uptown. Nothing flashy about it. It's expensive. Quite rightly, you've chosen a popular site in the city. You hope this location will translate into ticket sales, but for the time being, it's costing you a pretty penny to establish yourself. Enter a large lobby of your theater. You gaze upon the reception in progress. You spared no expense in providing quality wine and food. Tables are set up in the wide lobby, with a door leading to the saloon and another to the women's retiring room. Wait, 1849. Okay. Women having their own retiring room, I guess makes sense. There's an entrance in the theater's pit, a broad mahogany staircase leading to the boxes, and a separate entrance outside for cheap seats in the gallery. Oh, wait, is gallery middle? I thought pit. I don't remember how theaters work. You hired a well-fitted quartet to play from the balcony, having just converted the space from the old Empire Hotel to a new theater. Fitted out the lobby with expensive ornaments and carpets. The guests' wine glasses fairly sparkle in the gaslighting. Now the lobby's full. The crowd is of fashionable New Yorkers cluster around makeshift tables. Anyone is here tonight. Some will be your allies, while some will be fierce rivals. First, you notice a French actor, Mademoiselle Rachel. Mademoiselle Rahel, one of the most celebrated stars of the day, known for playing fierce, passionate roles. She has been likened to a panther on stage. Oh. She's taller than you imagined, but as radiant as she's ever looked under the glare of the footlights. Her black hair is perfectly coiffed, accenting a violent gown. Violet, fuck. Everyone seems to be fawning over her. I've been attracted to many men and women, but rarely have I come across someone so exquisite. I wish I had time to talk to her. I'm always attracted to beautiful women. I'm attracted to men, but I appreciate her beauty and grace. I know her beauty and grace, but I don't want romantic entanglements in my life. We're going for it. Wait. Yeah. I think this means I'm going to try. Even though the event is opening of your theater, Mademoiselle Rachel is so swarmed by admirers and confidants that you cannot get close enough to convey your appreciation that she has graced your theater with her presence. Continue to survey the crowd. At the nearest table are Herman Melville and Washington, real people. I wonder if Mademoiselle Rachel's a real person. I mean, if I can fuck her, then probably not. Two key figures of the city's burgeoning literary community. They want a respectable, dignified theater of poetry and noble sentiments. Sipping wine at a table nearby is Ned Buntline, one of the leaders of the city's know-nothings, a gang of radical Democrats who straddle the border between politics and crime, and who form a large portion of your audience. Huh, interesting. Are they the rowdy people? At another table, you see newspaper owner, conservative political supporter Horace Greeley, flanked by other reporters. Greeley is a representative of the mayor's office, which is opposed to Buntline, and his supporters attempts to take over the city. No doubt he wants a calm, respectable theater. Both radicals and conservatives in the theater together every night. Performances all too often erupt into violence. Nearby are other managers, actors, and artists. There's Laura Keene, J.R. Simpson, and Thomas Hamblin, unscrupulous but highly successful manager of the Bowery Theater, and your chief rival. Boy, howdy, do I just not care. So far tonight, you've rescued a play and dealt with an out-of-control audience member. Now comes the hard part. Before the night is finished, you'll have to speak with all of them. What? But who you talk to first will send a signal to everyone else about whom you favor the most. Regardless of what faction is most powerful, I sit with my colleagues. I was just thinking, I don't want to play politics with a theater. Because it's a goddamn theater. I mean, wealthier and more educated patrons? No. Sit with my constituents. You sit down, someone places a glass of wine in your hand, and you raise it to offer an affable toast. You can read glints of jealousy and greed in the eyes of some of your peers. You are, for the most part, ready to welcome you into the world as a fellow manager. Competition is vicious, but at bottom, you're all bound together by your love of the stage. But at bottom. Yeah. Keene, a serious-looking actor and manager, has a clear acumen for business and a record of hits. Next here is William Mitchell, who can do comedy like no one else. Thomas Hamblin, a passionate and powerful man, sits at the head of the table. He has a sturdy frame and a swarthy look. If you weren't an actor and manager, he would make it a formidable sea captain. Yar. His presence looms over the table. He even asks for salt with a booming voice that signals he's someone who's used to having his orders followed. He smiles in a manner that could be threatening or cheerful, but by his side, his wife, Luisa Medina, a dark-haired Spanish woman. Some say she's the real power behind Hamlin, but one thing is certain. Her literary genius has saved his theater. When it was struggling, she wrote a run of hit plays. It is said she speaks 8 languages, knows the most complicated math, and can ride a horse and shoot like a bandit. After a spell of polite, pleasant conversation, Medina says, "No doubt many have asked, or are eager to ask you about what role the stage can play in influencing the morals of the city. Lady, it's a theater. But what I think we all know is, what aspect of our art do you favor? Is the play the thing, or perhaps you favor brilliant performances? All eyes at the table are turned to you." All the elements profound of a production must harmoniously work together. My theater will rely on brilliant performances. If not by stars, then I'll take the stage. People come to the theater for a spectacle, and we'll give them spectacle. I gotta sit on the fence. Well-spoken answer, Hamlin interjects, but if you'll accept a piece of advice, our profession is such that the best laid plans are subject to any matter of upset, pray prepare accordingly, for anything may go wrong. Well, see, that's the beauty of sitting on the fence, is if it's more spectacle, then I'll just go with more spectacle. You thank Hamlin for his advice. The conversation turns to a recent riot in a Cincinnati theater where the audience smuggled in a sheep carcass to hurl at an actor who had lost their favor. Perhaps you'll work with or fight some of these colleagues this season, but for now, everyone is in good spirits. After a few more sips and a bit more conversation, it's time to move forward. Make your excuses to move on to the next table. Is someone going to die in this yet? Doubt that's going to be a thing. Now you better visit Greeley in the press table, since it's never good to ignore the newspapers. I beg to differ. Performance was a success, but if the newspapers don't report it as a triumph, the public might not be sold. Oh, criminy. Oh my god, I just realized there's a restart button. You sit down at the table of Horace Greeley, mayoral ally and press magnate. His paper, the New York Daily Tribune, is one of the chief sources of news for all the city's classes. As such, he's a powerful political and critical ally. Fortunately, he welcomes you warmly and raises a glass. You're worried that he might not have liked the play, but his toast celebrating your successful opening puts you at ease. First sip drunk, a woman at his right introduces herself brusquely as Anna Ballard, porter of The Sun, and asks if you'll permit her to ask a couple of questions. You've barely gotten the yes out of your mouth when she launches in. What a wonderful opening, she says, smiling. Who gets credit for such a debut? Okay, well, there's two here. Everyone in the theater put their hearts into it, or art is complicated and endeavorous. I know this seems a bit more snooty, though. Sure. Ballard quickly writes down your answer in the pad, and she slips out of her pocket as fast as if she were conjuring a magic trick. One more question, she says, and without waiting for your reply, asks about the new Astor Place Opera House. It's a new theater for refined plays built farther uptown in a fashionable district. Its management is banning lower classes from the audience by instituting a dress code and rules for audience behavior. It's a far cry from your theater, where the audience can cheer, chant, and throw fruit at the actors without punishment. Is this the future of theater, she asks. Well, hindsight is 20/20, but the only way you can get great taste is by excluding some audiences. It's un-American. Theater should entertain everyone. Don't show my hand too early. It's too soon to tell. So early. Excellent question. I'll have to think about it in greater depth. Also, you're looking lovely tonight. A word on the street is that people won't stand for it. Wait, I'm telling this to a reporter. Word on the street, miss. It's too soon to tell. She puts her pen away and thanks you, letting you know that you should look forward to a positive piece from the Sun in the morning. Yeah, my ass. Greeley adds, as I expect you will find in all of our papers. You smile politely, but instead you're celebrating. Inside, rather. You're tired of smiling and talking, everyone. I'm tired of talking, but the business exacts a price. As you get up to move, you notice a commotion at the far end of the lobby. A door flings open, and there, still in costume, is Booth. Arms flailing, a bottle of whiskey in one hand, and a loaded pistol in the other. He shouts, "Wait, Lincoln isn't at this party. What are you doing, Booth?" Slurring his words, he continues, "Demon, you stole my role, my show, my glory, undermined me managers, such bugs and goblins in my life, thou warped, hasty-witted jolthead. You take that back, sir." The reception is full of New York's brightest, and they're starting to laugh. You need to handle this, and soon, or else your success will turn to ridicule. You imagine the headline: Manager cannot manage star. Disorder takes the stage at a long... Disorder takes the stage at the Long Johnson. Fuck. Your first objective is to get him out of the lobby and back to your office where you can handle this quietly. Well, he's drunk still, right? I will make a bargain, because reprimanding him's probably not going to get anywhere. Is there a wrong answer? I feel like either I'm now wondering how telltale this game is, and by that I mean, do my choices ultimately matter? Anyway, You use reason. You're right to be aggrieved, Booth, but come, let's discuss this and reach a settlement in my office. He points his pistol at you. Oh, I forgot he was armed. Shit. No one toys with Booth. Settle with me here. Fine, this all have to be done here. You may lose the reputation for having it out in public, but at least the press is here. And bad publicity is still publicity. In the face of the drunk, armed actor with a grievance, clearly the best thing to do is... lets him undermine himself by showing how drunk he is. Let my intuition give me the inspiration to lay a brilliant trap. What? I mean... oh boy. I mean, I'm really curious to see what this brilliant trap is supposed to be. I'm gonna drink some water. You know what just occurred to me? I'm playing this like I actually care. Yeah, let's try my intuition. You pretend that's part of the show and play along with his role. If you're performing in the climactic scene of a melodrama and ended in a duel, miming a dagger at your side, you get close enough to whisper to him that if he doesn't behave, you'll let everyone know just what a drunken misfit he is, and he'll have trouble ever working in New York again. Your words do the trick. He stands there stunned for a moment, wobbling on his feet. Act, you fool, you hiss, and he erupts into a brilliant dramatic monologue about why he would not duel. If only he had that passion and dedication on stage, he would take the city by storm. A moment later, you are bowing. As everyone is impressed by your scene, Booth smiles, mumbles something about finding his sons, Edwin and John Wilkes. Oh. Too soon. And exits into the night, presumably to the hotel or another bar. Oh, was this Booth the one that like Lincoln's son saved from a train or something? Lincoln's son saved a Booth from a train, like getting hit by a train. Am I making that up? I feel like that is a part of history. And then obviously this was before John Wilkes did his thing. Looking around the group assembled, you sense tacit approval for the way you handled Booth's outbursts. With the interruption past, the guests are milling about, freely talking with each other. What do you do best at social events? Well, that would be the drinking. I circulate to make sure as many people as possible know how serious I am. Circulating among as many people as possible, charm them. Find the handful of people I can really talk to and dazzle them with my vision. Befriend people who dabble in questionable activities in case I need them someday. Damn. Oh. When the screen's full like that, you can't see it. Again, me acting like this matters. Well, I don't want to just... yeah, just circulate as much, I guess. You move from group to group, shaking hands, exchanging pleasantries. You make a special effort to listen to everyone and act as agreeable as possible. You flatter their clothes or opinions, and while you never get into an in-depth conversation, you leave everyone in a sense that your friendliness and charm. On his way out, Herman Melville pauses to shake your hand, looking at you with intelligent, deep-set eyes and a kind face. He leans in towards you and whispers, "Everyone wants great art, but I suspect the theater needs some time and work before it's ready to do such a thing." The theater or my theater, you son of a bitch. Seize the moment to agree the theater should progress towards a more literary future. Make a non-committal statement about how each theater should suit its particular circumstances. Respectfully disagree. The public should decide the direction of art. Ooh. Huh. Should the public decide the direction of art? I'll agree with that. Glad to find a like-minded soul, he says. As a gesture of friendship, he asks you to join him at a concerto tomorrow evening with the Apollo Rooms. You accept, pleased to make a connection with such talented up-and-coming writer as Melville. As the crowd is thinning out, Ned Buntline lingers behind. During a lull in your conversation with a couple of investors, he pulls you aside. The hair on his square head is disheveled hair. Okay. But his jet black mustache is neatly trimmed. He has a look of brilliant strategist and unrelenting drinker. Currently, he's a popular writer. But you know not to let that fool you, you silly bitch. Buntline has a reputation as a fierce duelist. All right, 1849. I keep forgetting this. Tells you how much he enjoyed the show and that he looks forward to a future conversation about how your interests and his might coincide. In fact, he invites you to visit him at one of his gambling houses tomorrow night. Wait, when's my date with... Tomorrow evening? Oh, no. Sorry, man. I got Melville. I got a Melville date. I don't like him, but I agree to the meeting to hear... What? Yeah. I mean... But Melville... But Melville... Why isn't the game not telling me this? Again, gotta stop pretending like it matters. You tell Buntline if he wants to meet you, he can make an appointment at your office. He smiles and nods. The man sitting to your left holds you to your seat and slips a card in your pocket. Here's the address. Remember, he can be a powerful friend and a worse enemy. See you tomorrow at night. Midnight. Oh, midnight. This is probably not a concerto at midnight. No matter what you think of Buntline, he controls the strings of a large portion of your fan base, so you'll have to deal with him one way or another. Although you're hesitant to give Buntline a meeting, it'll be better to oblige him at least this once. Okay, yeah. So I said no. The game's like, hey, well, you should just do it. There are like, 500 fucking pages about this meeting, so you should do it. As if you're seeing the guests out, the theater folk are the last to go. They linger, finishing their food and wine, but warmly shaking your hand with genuine thanks. Hamblin's eyes. He grabs hold of your arm and gestures for you to lean in to hear what he has to say. As you turn your head, you can tell your colleagues are pretending not to listen. This is a cutthroat business, Long Johnson. He whispers. So, for a second, think you could take on my theater and finish the season standing. Standing. No matter what I'm planning, I should reassure him for now. Let everyone see that I can stand up to him. I won't give anything away at this point, because I don't know what I have to give away. The safest approach is best. My dear Mr. Hamblin, competition is not all on my mind at all, you say. If Hamblin suspects you're lying, he doesn't show it. Good choice, he says, and leaves with a smile and a wink. It's now time to lock up and get some well-deserved rest. The work continues tomorrow. Next chapter. Christ almighty. My throat's already starting to hurt. Well, we're just going to go ahead and say you get 3 chapters with this for free. I assume all the text adventures on Steam, or most at least, if they're all by the same company, same writer. I assume they all have demos like this. It is interesting. It's very casual, and there's nothing wrong with casual games. I was only half kidding about the whole just read a book. But choose your own adventure is always fun, and there's no better designer of a good story, good set pieces, good characters than your own imagination. So reading's always fun, is my point. I don't know if you'd want to spend $3 on Steam to get your read on, but there we have it. Achievements. Yes, this is funny. Protect a street girl from arrest. Don't fall for an old trick. Align yourself with advocates of fine art. Solve Nell's riddle. Hire an actor who's beloved by their peers. Devote your resources to the press. See, it seems like there's some decisions that actually can be become fun. Like, you hire somebody, it seems, and who you hire, like, makes a difference, I'm sure. A box office duel with a rival. I mean, it's fun. You know, the story's obviously going places, for sure. Manage a difficult social situation to everyone's approval. Damn. Send a rival into disgrace. Save the city from destruction. Jeez. Oh, join an elite literary circle. We're on our way. Give up theater for a chance to achieve political power. And then my stats. Bud Lon Johnson has a 45% relationship with himself. Oh, I could see my audience and my money. That's fun. Huh. So yeah, that was Demo Doomsday. A bit of a weird one. Oh. Oh. How odd. That's not sepia. Is it? Oh god, it is. Oh Jesus, that hurts trying to figure out that. Well, I didn't know all this was here. But yeah, I'll try to figure out how to get the wheel working for next Demo Doomsday. This is a bit of a strange one. But that's the fun of Demo Doomsday. Hit or miss. And that's the fun, I hope, of the junk stream. It's hit or miss. Sometimes it's going to be great. Sometimes it's going to be this. So, thanks everybody for watching. Till next time, I need to think of a bigger game I'm going to play. I kind of finished the Return of the Tentacle, didn't I? So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun to figure out. Until next time, though, thanks for watching, and goodbye.